What is up guys, Doombis here back again with another video for you about Valeera gameplay. I did get some requestment earlier, or like some complaint from my last video, which was that had a bit too much sound effect, and I'm hoping now that this video is better and you can hear me better now than you did in the previous video. Anyways, so if you didn't hear, I'm gonna go through again my entire guide on Valeera, and we'll be talking a little bit more on my tips and tricks, my gameplay, my build, the effective way of taking advantage of the environment, of the zone, of the map, and a lot more. So in this video here, we start off with fighting Lucius, Junkrats, Nasebu, Butcher, and Greymane. So my first shot, Subtlety, getting 8 energy per second for 5 seconds, and that's a really good talent, and I really recommend those who wanna have a lot of energy for kills. I don't know if it works for Garrot, I can't guarantee it, but it's a really good talent and works so well. At level 4 you want to use Garrot. No, I'm sorry, excuse me. At level 4 you want to use Initiative for gaining 2 additional combo points. So it's easier for you to get 3 combo points and then use your Adversary for more heavier damage. Okay, so let's just start with the guide here. I'm fighting off against Greymane Butcher here. I've gotten so many requests earlier about Butcher and his gameplay on how to beat Butcher, because I have met a lot of people who have said that they haven't had the easy way with Butcher, and like haven't been able to, you know, shut him down or find the proper way to beat him. And my advice to you is that don't panic as soon as he charges you, unless he's like with 3 other allies, then I guess it's a little bit to be panicking-ish. But don't think too much about it. Greymane and Butcher can do well together, obviously, because we all know Greymane is one of the top tier heroes. But anyways, at this point you don't want to die too much to Butcher, of course, because whenever he dies he loses 15 meat, but he gains, after completing the quest, 125 attack and damage and 25% attack speed, and gains 10 continuously after. Well, when he completes it, he doesn't lose anymore. Anyways, he's like Nasebu here. Basically needs all his stacks in order to complete, and when he dies he doesn't lose his stacks. So just gonna point that out for those of you who doesn't know how Nasebu works. In this case here, what is really important to keep in mind is that whenever Butcher engages you, let him charge you. If you have your stealth ready, just wait. Trust me on it. Just wait. Don't charge. Don't stealth as soon as he charges, unless he's with 2-3 other people that he can use to gank you with. Then obviously stealth. Whenever Butcher tries something on you, keep in mind that you still have an advantage, because he has no damage until he reaches max stacks, which is the completest quest. You probably saw my build in the early video from where I used Rupture at level 20. I'm gonna explain it a little bit later in this video. At the moment here, for example, you notice me, like I'm not taking that much damage, of course, but the thing is that people underestimate Valeera so much by not focusing her enough. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but as long as people don't think too much about you. So I mean, sometimes when you really dominate in a fight, keep in mind not to like get too aggressive or too greedy with shit, because Well, due to one of the reasons is basically that anything can happen overall whenever you play Valeera. And if you get too aggressive and the enemy team starts to focus you, do know that all of these possible action can cause you to get killed. Because the more you push, the more aggressive you are. If the enemy team is smart, they adapt from that and then use it to their advantage. So, in other words, it's just going to put you in a position where you can't really defend yourself properly, or you can't escape because you already know, like, okay, I'm already dead and I'm not going to be able to survive the last remaining damage that I will take from these heroes or from the enemy team's combinations. So yeah, obviously whenever you do rank and unrank, since Lenore have been buffed this patch, do ban her and don't let her. Yeah, just try banning her as much as you can, because if you don't ban her, make sure that your enemy team is not in the way, because if they are, they can really screw you over. Anyway, as you can see here, for example, where my team is dominating, and I'm not gonna blame Phoenix just because we have Phoenix, we have the advantage, because it's not about like whenever you're, yeah, it's never about like being the top best assassin, or like it's because you have Phoenix you guys can win, or because these enemies that I fight here in this game, I actually talk to each and every one of them personally, and these guys were not like those, like, oh my god, just because you had because you were playing Valeera, or like just because you had Phoenix or whatever, you guys were overpowered or strong as hell. These guys were really nice, and they took this like with a really nice, good way of playing. So they were always telling me like, you did well, you were playing well, and these guys, I'm really giving you guys a shout out if you guys are watching this video. Huge shout out for you guys for playing so well and making this game an amazing, awesome fight. And I hope that we meet again in a future fight against each other, because I've purely enjoyed battling you guys, and I hope you guys are doing well now. Anyway, so over to my talents. We have a level 4 initiative, gaining 2 combo points from Garrote, Ambush, and Cheap Shot. At level 7 we have Fatal Finest, each time Blade Flurry damage an enemy. Hero, its damage increases by 4 up to 80. The reward, damaging 20 heroes permanently reduces the energy cost by your Blade Flurry by 20. So instead of it costing you 45 energy, it will cost you 25 energy, saving you a lot more energy because of your level 1 talent, which is your energy source. It's gonna constantly give you more and more energy, and allows you to use more of your abilities. Anyways, so by this you're probably thinking, okay, but just due to the fact that my team has more damage because we have Soul, Jin, Valeera, and Phoenix, we're like stronger, plus Sylvanas' advantage of like stopping structures and stuff like that. Yeah, that can be one reason, but then again, Nasibu counters Sylvanas, which is quite odd. Oh, excuse me. So whenever like you're fighting Greymane, I know whenever he enters Morganport he gains 10 armor, or 10 physical armor, but overall Greymane can't be an issue for you, nor can he counter you, unless you allow him to be, like whenever you guys engage each other in a fight, don't let him become the aggressive one. You have to be aggressive than Greymane, so just keep that in mind. Push its limits, like don't back down. Okay, so here's the moment, look. At the moment he put, here's the position I'm talking about. Whenever Butcher is gonna engage you, okay, now I'm just, excuse my play by doing that. That's really disrespectful, and I know it's a huge douchey move to do what I'm doing at the moment, but really sorry about that. So anyways, whenever I'm fighting Butcher here, as you see, he's engaging, he's trying to feed, and I'm pushing him. He's gonna brand me. He has branded me now, and what I'm doing is just keeping distance, because he still has more HP than I do, but keep in mind, HP wise doesn't really matter, because at the moment he has 87 blood, which is, I don't know, like, you know, not that much, at least for my level. So now he brands me again, and what I'm doing here, not by the harfing count thing that I'm doing, now I'm actually harfing out of here, I think. Okay, never mind. No, but my point is that when it comes to Butcher, my strategy here, since you see his mana bar, it's low on mana, and you don't want Butcher to have like, you don't want Butcher to complete his quest, you don't want to give him too much blood, because if he completes his quest, he's gonna be overpowered. So what I'm doing here now I have full HP as he has, so now it's basically a fair fight between me and the Butcher. So he brands me, I'm just gonna juke around a little bit, keep him around my distance, then engage him again, because now he doesn't have his brand, which gives him no healing from all the attack speed that he gained. So by that, Butcher's gonna run away. Okay, so he gets away, but overall, whenever Butcher charges here, don't panic. If he goes with Lamental Slaughter, if you know you can't get out of the ring in time, throw Smoke Bomb immediately down on the ground. You'll be silenced, but Butcher won't be able to hit you or touch you with his basic attack or brand you and all that shit. Because if you don't throw Smoke Bomb down, he's gonna instantly kill you, and you basically will give Butcher a free kill. Another thing to keep in mind of here is I wanted to go for these mercs. The only thing that keeps me a little bit at bay at the moment is, of course, having Butcher and Nasibu on the mid lane. Although I didn't know that Grimmy was down here, so I could have probably they could have probably gotten me killed, or I probably could have gotten the camp as well. But that was a little bit bad play from Butcher. Look here, Grayman here is dead as well. As you saw, he was trying to look for me that last second until he realized, or I guess until he realized he was too low to fight me. For Junkrat, it's the same thing. You don't need to garrot him at all to keep him away. I mean, I could have probably stunned him or silenced him there, but it didn't really matter, because Junkrat doesn't have much of a chance against a Valeera. Here, for example, Nasibu can counter. He can counter Phoenix very easily, and not having this constant fight an issue with him. Another thing to keep in mind of when it comes to Butcher and like the other heroes here, because as you asked me, my friend, about how Butcher works and the troubles you had with the Butcher fighting him and all that, don't worry about it. Like whenever he charges you, let him. If you finish off cooldown, as I said before, let him charge you, let him stun you, let him brand. He's gonna hamstring you first, and then brand you. When he brands you, stealth, and if you want, and if he's low, and I'm talking like 50% or 40% less HP, stun him and then poke him again, like jump on him again, and then kill him. Here's a funny moment as well. You probably will enjoy this as well as I did in this game. As you see, they're chasing me all across the map, all 5 of them, look. So they're popping everything they have. He wasted his ult, and I'm getting a free getaway out of here. You can see here. They're all shooting their abilities, they're all chasing me around the map. And I'm gone. As you can see it. They can't touch me. This is actually a really stupid thing that I'm doing, because what I was doing was just playing around and being stupid. And I shouldn't do this overall. But since I'm so confident with my playstyle with Valeera, I don't really need to think about it that much. So here you have again, they're gonna engage me again, and I'm probably dead by now, I think. Maybe. No. Okay. Yeah, like I said, don't ever do what I did there, because the odds that you will complete that is very bad and low, especially if you're not mastered Valeera very well, then it's really not worth doing it. But like I said, when it comes to Butcher, let him stun you. If he's gonna go for like Blast Furnace or like Slam with the Slaughter, throw Smoke Bomb the millisecond it hits you. If he hooks, before he hooks you, and you know you can get out of the ring from the Lance Slaughter, Smoke Bomb immediately, and you'll be fine for those 3 seconds of the silence. For his Blast Furnace, you take 25% less damage from the ability. For Greymane, ambush all the way. Don't even consider silencing him, because even the Geralt build per se can be good against Greymane. The only issue you will have here with Greymane is that his physical armor by 10% will reduce all of the damage he takes from your basic attack when you poke him with Geralt. So it's going to take you longer to kill him than it's going to be for him to kill you. I mean, your damage over time is going to stack if you have a level 20 Rupture. But overall else, you won't stand much of a chance against them. So keep that in mind. So now we reach level 20, so now we have all our talents. So at level 10, Smoke Bomb gives you 25 armor, reducing all damage taken by 25%, and continue using it. Well, they can continue using attacks and use abilities without being revealed for the last 5 seconds. Death from Above, level 13 talent, the main priority talent. Teleporting with ambush reduces the cooldown of Vanity by 4 seconds. Extremely valuable, and saves you a lot of time to reuse ambush. Level 16, Assassinate. Ambush deals 50% less damage, 50% damage to damage, and reduces the target's armor by an additional 10% if no enemies are near within 4 yards of Valeera. Increases Geralt's damage over time by 100%. Valeera's basic attack refreshes the rotation of Geralt. And the reason I'm picking Rupture at level 20, and yes, I am very well aware of the potential issues that I have with the Greymane and Junkrat, and there's times where everyone has a bad day and plays bad or plays sloppy with Valeera, but you can't really do much about it. But I should have left the game. That's sad. Well, anyways, my point is just overall that don't back down whenever you're fighting your enemies. Like, whenever they're trying something, keep in mind that you can still kill them before they kill you. At this point, Sylvanas did a misplay, and misplay of myself for engaging Butcher, and of course I'm blaming Sylvanas for this, which kinda is her fault-ish, I don't know. But yeah, so now it's pretty much free blood for Butcher here. Unless he fails again. So overall here you can see that you don't wanna play with Butcher. That's the problem. Don't ever play with Butcher, because it's just never worth it, because you don't know how long you can last against him at all. And always keep in mind of the mercs. Take always the item, because you aren't done with the mercs as soon as you just capture them. What else is there to tell? when it comes to Lucius, you can always, the same thing goes for them. Use ambush, poke him down, don't use Garrow. Rupture can be used against him, but it's completely useless because he will heal himself from the damage you do on him from the stacks. So here you see Greymane obviously playing sloppy by jumping on Sylvanas and of course wanting the team control, but sadly his team doesn't have enough time to make a stand for themselves here. And in Butcher's case, he's already pretty much done for the count, because sure, he has 140 blood and now he can like silence every hero who stands in the line of the slaughter, but in my point of view I can cause so much more damage to him than he can do now. But as before, as I said, the same thing goes with Lucius. Don't garrote Butcher, because if you do, he's basically gonna brand you and then poke you and heal himself for the 35% of damage he deals. At least I think that's how he works. Excuse my newbiness if I'm not sure about Butcher. Then we have in part with Junkrat, if I haven't already mentioned him, you have so much more damage than he has. Unless you get caught up in something and he bombs you, blows you up or whatever. What else is there to say? Valeera's gameplay overall is aggressive. Don't ever hesitate on kills, don't back down to enemies. As long as you, and this is a good, huge requirement, if you know you can kill them before they kill you, then keep going, don't stop, like don't back down. If you know you can kill someone, kill them. The worst thing here I'm doing here is that I'm fighting Butcher with the Protector when he's gaining 45% healing from the damage he deals. So at the moment I should have went for the core instead of like standing there and fighting the others, and that was very bad play on me there. So now it's just basically me bribing versus Butcher and Lucius and Nasibu plus Greymane and Junkrat, who's at the moment lane clearing. So yeah. Another thing here in this fight here is that I dropped smoke bomb here just because I was overwhelmed. Oh no, okay. This is a really dangerous situation for me, because look how low I am now. I have 260 HP left, almost about to die again. And my damage, as always, you can see here, 22 kills, 8 death, 1 assist, 38,682 siege damage, 80,598 hero damage. So here, basically now we're 2v4-ish. So now they're gonna try kill me because I'm lowest. But as long as I'm trying to keep my distance, and just also time this, always time this, which is completed his quest now, so it's not a huge issue for me anymore. So there you go. Butcher's case, waste of a smoke bomb, because I didn't know he would stop like as soon as I turned around the corner. So if he wouldn't have turned around the corner, if he wouldn't have stopped there, I probably wouldn't have used my smoke bomb. Or well, if I knew. So again, we're dominating 3 forts, 3 keeps, and they have nothing basically except the core. This game is pretty much, as you already can tell, is pretty over now, considering how much damage we have compared to the enemy team. Although I think these guys could have played a little bit better than they did, but everyone do mistakes, and it's not always easy to fight uh, people, because whenever you like multitasking, there are always some heroes that you can be good with, some heroes that you can be bad with. So there's never any like, yeah, there's never any like hero that you're completely overpowered with. I mean, okay, so like except for the part where I play Valeera, because I mean, kind of screams obvious here, but in my case, Valeera works strongly against anyone, basically, if you play her right and use the right ult and talents. So Valeera is the best hero, I would say, in my point of view. Always will be my favorite and my main hero that I can beat people up with and pwn them so hard as I want to pwn them with. And obviously,
legendary.
Eventually, I got to the part where I got legendary, and this against the other of the enemy team for being good supported guys and playing very well with me, and gave me a good fight. So this game was pretty awesome. I loved the fight. I am giving a shout out to my allies, or my team and my enemy teams, for the awesome game here. And yet again, guys, like I said before, Garrote is only valuable on Genji, Tracer, Li Ming, Lenora, Murky, unless he's using Big Kahuna, then Ambush for all the way. Overall, that you basically can kill all of the other heroes with Ambush easily as hell. Warriors, Diablo, Sonya, Varian, they won't be having any issue to fight you. You'll have a complete straight advantage. When it comes to Alarak, just don't. All you need to do is whenever when you're noticing he's going invulnerable and he's fighting already your team and some other of his allies, if you know you can ambush him in time before his invulnerable goes off and just counter strikes hit you, ambush, and then you pop behind him, and then you'll hit him for that damage. So you still avoid the damage from there, and you will know immediately as soon as he notices you ambushing him in the back, he's gonna turn around, pull you in, or with telekinesis or whatnot, because I've seen so many Alec doing the same thing all over again. And then he's gonna go for Discord Strike. You'll notice it, and then just go to this, just dash your strike with Sinister Strike. Don't even question it, just Sinister Strike to the sides to avoid the damage and the silence. After he's used Discord Strike, you're fine by the whole entire game. The fight between you and him, he can't hit you. He can't silence you. He needs to wait unless he has a lot of sadism. Then obviously burst him down. If he's gonna turn towards you and counter strike, as I said before, move to the side so you don't get hit by it. For Phoenix, silence as well. If he's not having a shield and you know he's about to port, then silence him or stun him and then finish him off. Else just ambush him in the back and just poke him. Make sure that he uses it for a bigger range of his plasma cutter, because then you can be in close the entire fight with him, and then you can just poke him, and then just continuously fight him, and eventually he's gonna back up. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and if you need any tip or help, I'll have a link down in the description about Valeera video, or my Valeera Facebook guide page, where you can ask me questions. And if you're wondering something about Valeera or need tip on the gameplay or another tip on fighting other certain heroes that you find hard, feel free to put that up and I'll answer it as soon as I can. Thank you everyone so much for watching again, and I'll see you all next time.